everybody likes. It must be strange. Like, do you know the scene with Jacinda Ardern? Everyone's like, yeah, she's great. She's done a great job. I can't remember the last time that was the case in Britain. Do you know what I mean? So I'm envious. I'm envious of your togetherness and the fact that it feels like, I might be wrong, but it feels like you're rowing together, you're pulling together. And I'm envious of your kindness and your sort of your compassion, but also your willingness to follow rules, which we don't really have. About New Zealand is you're an unbelievably kind nation. I'm not sure if it seems to me you're very kind, because we're in isolation, and there was a knock on my door yesterday, and I've been here for a week, and there was a little brown paper bag that said, "You've made it a week through quarantine, so we've got you a little treat." And I kind of opened it up, and I've got them here. It's Pascal's pineapple lumps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's many nations in the world that would give people sweets halfway through a quarantine. It feels so sort of deliciously Kiwi just to kind of go, there you go, there's a little snack, and keep yourself to yourself. And it's lovely because where I'm from, a pineapple lump sounds like a terrible disease, but they're actually quite tasty.
Yeah, you've had them. They're quite controversial these days because they're made in Australia, but they're a New Zealand, weird thing that we give people in quarantine.
But see, that's how lovely your country is. If that's controversial, then things are going all right. Like, do you know what I mean? It's hardly Brexit.
Yeah, and for you and your colleagues in arts, but especially comedy, has it been completely waiting, or is there still a lot of creation happening?
Yeah, well, I think particularly with like younger comics, they're probably, all over kind of like TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and Switch and Twitch. God, how old do I sound then? But so they're in the UK, and we were doing that from September to December, and some weeks we would have 200 people in the crowd. Normally it's like 500, and then other weeks we would have 50, and then we did 3 weeks with nobody, which was surreal and peculiar. We still put the chairs out, which was funny. So I was performing to 500 chairs. But you kind of, if you're one of the lucky ones that is still able to work and have a job throughout this, you just can't complain.
It's been crazy, watching shows like Colbert in the US, and he's just in seems like his bedroom for the past year.
Yeah, well, I was talking to a good mate of mine, John Oliver, and John's been doing his show, and still is. John was doing his show in a room in his house, and he's got 2 little ones, and he was, I think he was doing quite a big, heavy thing about police brutality, and his son's knocking at the door. It's just, there's no way, there's no world normally where you would be doing a really heavy bit of satire, and there would just be like somebody in the green room go, Dad. But I think you just have to embrace it, and that's kind of the way of the world.